I am the man who used to be known by my former YouTube handle of Sleepy Salsa on YouTube. 4 years ago, on December 29th of 2010, another YouTube user known as Exposed Shills had not only re-edited a parody I had made, but also had failed to attribute credit to me as the original creator. After being told by this user, quote, "Fuck you, where's my parody," close quote, and knowing little else about what to do at the time, I eventually decided to close my YouTube channel. I thought by doing so I had left behind all the baggage that came with it, but I was mistaken. Over a month ago, in December of 2014, I began receiving death threats from various people who believed that I was this exposed shills individual. Seeing that my privacy was being violated due to a case of mistaken identity, I enlisted the assistance of Lisa Joyner 88, who is a retired nurse, to act on my behalf as next friend. She has also been gracious enough to upload this video onto her channel so that the statements I am making today will have the opportunity to be heard from the same digital soapbox as my adversary. The word plagiarize is defined by thefreedictionary.com as, quote, "to reproduce or otherwise use the words, ideas, or other work of another as one's own or without attribution," close quote. Plagiarism is defined by Webster's 1828 dictionary as, quote, "the act of purloining another man's literary works, or introducing passages from another man's writings and putting them off as one's own literary theft," close quote. In other words, plagiarism is fraudulent, and as a type of fraud, it is also the initiation of force, which itself thoroughly violates the non-coercion principle that is one of the two key libertarian philosophical axioms that Murray Rothbard wrote about. Since plagiarism is by definition a kind of initiatory force, plagiarists might as well be statists, the latter of whom initiate force through government. Creative Commons requires attribution for material incorporated into any sort of original work. This exposed shills user, who appears to be a John Doe operating under the name Paul Ironshore, not only failed to identify me as the original creator in both the video title field and the video description box, but also re-edited the video footage itself to where he placed the name of his website into the lower right-hand corner, a website, I'd like to add, that has now since become defunct. Not only did Mr. Ironshore cut out my introduction, but he also cut out a 3-minute segment partway through the satire, and worse, cut short both the ending punchline and the afterword that was filmed in color, the latter segment of which provided valuable context as to the purpose of the parody. Because of Mr. Ironshore's wanton disregard for my authorship, his plagiaristic video has since been copied by another user known as Agent John M. a year later on December 8th of 2011, which further exacerbates Mr. Ironshore's plagiarism of my satire. The following are excerpts taken from both Mr. Ironshore's plagiarized video, approximately 8 minutes long, and my original parody, approximately 14 minutes long, in order to prove the authenticity of my claims today.
Unfortunately, I do regret sounding like a pompous ass. Unfortunately, I do regret sounding like a pompous ass. That these patriots are somehow going to mystically awaken more people. And then there are the anarchists who think you can have a stateless society. That these patriots are somehow going to mystically awaken more people. Awaken more people, awaken more people, awaken more people, please. People are going to believe whatever they're going to believe. Or, as true revolutionaries would say, abolishing and establishing a government. And then there are the anarchists who think you can have a stateless society. If you think I am full of shit, don't blame me when Waco comes knocking on your door. And now I'm going to end this video with a witty catchphrase of sorts. Buy guns, buy guns, buy guns. If you think I am full of shit, don't blame me when Waco comes knocking on your door. And now I'm going to end this video with a witty catchphrase of sorts. Buy guns, buy guns, buy guns, and when you're out of money, buy more guns. Greetings, Sleepy Salsa here. Today is September 7th of 2010, and I hope you enjoyed another good-natured parody.
When Lisa Joyner 88 tried earlier this week to contact Mr. Ironshore for the second time regarding his plagiarism via Skype, for she had tried doing so a month ago on YouTube during January of 2015, she was instead greeted with unwarranted insults. After Mr. Ironshore flip-flopped about his identity, he proceeded to intimidate her with harassing VoIP calls and bragged that he recorded all his calls and took screenshots of his instant messages. During this correspondence, Mr. Ironshore insulted her by saying things like, quote, "Go fuck yourself," "piece of shit," "fucking coward," "fag," and "fuck you bitch," close quote. All of this to a retired nurse who, like me, cares about her privacy. Needless to say, I don't take too kindly to men who bully women, just as police officers routinely do against citizens. The following audio clip is taken from a Truth Brigade broadcast back on November 13th of 2010 when Paul Ironshore called and harassed not only Louis B., but also another listener who had called in as well.
Hey, how you doing? This is Paul with iconoclastradio.com.
Oh, hey, Paul. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
I was just wondering if I might be able to step in as a voice of reason for 1 second. I've been listening to the phone call since you've called in, and you've contradicted yourself several times. You've called in and called Louis, a bullshit artist or whatever, this and that. But
he is. Get to your point.
I am getting to my point. You're the one interrupting me and being rude, aren't you? So my point is that you've actually called in to attack another person for doing exactly what you're doing. Do you not see the irony in that?
Listen, I called in because someone in the chat room told me I should call in because they didn't believe it was Iconoclast Radio thing.
To go suck on a tailpipe, would you do that?
Listen, shut up, stupid. If you don't got something decent to say, just shut up.
Stupid. I'm not the one contradicting myself here.
Does that work both ways, Paul? Because you haven't said nothing smart. Anyways, since you called
Louis, there's nothing that you can say about me. You're the one that's a shit stirrer.
I can say,
Okay. Enough with the language, gentlemen. We are on a network that has several stations, so please keep the language at a minimum.
Yeah. Mr. Iconoclast Radio, I'm looking at your post right here that says Louis B. of Crotch Shot exposed as NWO.
No, I didn't put that in the chat room.
Are you not Iconoclast Radio?
Are you talking about something that was just put in the chat room? Because I'm not even at the website
No. I'm talking about on Truth Brigade. This would be from, let's see, September 5th, 2010 at 10:27 and 39 seconds p.m.
Okay, yeah, I put that in there. What about it?
Okay, well, you just contradicted yourself again.
Yeah, what does it say? What does it say?
It says Louis B. of Crotch Shot exposed as NWO is the title. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what does it say?
It says Louis, listener from Brooklyn, New York, exposes Louis B. as a shill for not really covering the issues and being a Zionist shill. I know for a fact
that's exactly what
he does work for Jews.
That's exactly what he is. I don't think he's more of a worker. He's more like a bootlicker. He's so interested in trying to be the network or getting a radio show. It's more about a radio show than actual truth with this guy. That's my assessment.
There's no truth to any of his stuff on Luke Radowski, then?
That's a broken record, okay?
Well, I'm asking you a question.
Okay, he's got one issue. What about it?
I'm asking you.
Matter of fact, what has been done about that issue? Can you tell me what's? I want some results. What's happened about that issue? Anything happened?
I think Luke is on his way out, buddy.
Okay, fantastic. And yeah, And when Luke is on his way out, that means We Are Change is going to be able to do what, and what results are going to happen? They're going to put George Bush in jail?
Well, no. Hopefully they'll be able to put a leader in there who won't steal all the money. I mean, that would be my logical idea.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And then the leader's not going to steal the money, and what's going to happen?
Are you making any relevant points, or you just wanting to argue?
All right, man. You know what? Whoever you are, you're very slow.
Am I?
That's all I know.
Really,
you're very
dude? I mean,
slow.
I'm
yeah,
slow.
most definitely.
I'm slow.
Oh yes, I can tell.
I don't sound like a knuckle dragger.
You don't sound like a knuckle dragger? No, you sound more like a bootlicker.
Oh, okay. Well, I've not licked any boots today.
Now, the bottom line is the reason why I'm calling in.
In light of Mr. Ironshore's careless plagiarism and gross lack of civility, he has thus far disgraced himself from the alternative media, because he is a man who dishonestly refused to give credit for someone else's work and then lied about doing so. There is no good reason to believe that he would treat anyone else's work more honestly than he has done with mine. However, there is always the opportunity for redemption. In accordance with libertarian principles, I am owed restitution, and therefore I demand Mr. Ironshore to, first, delete his video currently entitled, quote, John Allen Martinson Jr., the Pompous Ass, close quote, that is currently located at http://utu.be/Tango Oscar Zulu Victor uppercase whiskey lowercase Zulu uppercase Victor 0 uppercase Kilo lowercase whiskey Oscar. And second, to issue a public apology addressed to me confessing his guilt, just so that there is no further confusion as to what exactly transpired here. I also expect the Agents John M user to delete his copy of Mr. Ironshore's plagiarized video as well. I expect my demands for remedy concerning these grievances to be fulfilled within the next 30 days from the publication of this video. If no such remedy is forthcoming, primarily from Mr. Ironshore, then further action will be taken at my discretion. This video will remain publicly available just as long as all copies of Mr. Ironshore's plagiarized video are available on YouTube.
Always give credit where credit is due. If you didn't write it, don't say it's by you. Just copy the credit along with the work, or else you'll come off like an arrogant jerk. Always give credit where credit belongs. We know that you didn't write Beethoven's songs. Pretending you did makes you look like a fool. Unless you're Beethoven, in that case it's cool. A transparent system makes cheating unwise. The simplest web search exposes your lies. No one wants their reputation besmirched, which happens to liars when they are web searched. Proper citation will make you a star. It shows that you know that we know who you are. Plagiarization will only harm you, so always give credit where credit is due.